problem.
What is up, guys? Hope you guys are having a great Friday. Happy St. Patrick's Day. So today, in light of St. Patrick's Day, I want to give you guys my thoughts on the one definitive St. Patrick's Day themed film that spawned a series of sequels. Yes, I'm talking about Leprechaun. This 1993 horror comedy stars Jennifer Aniston in her film debut and was distributed by Trimark Pictures, which actually, this was the first film that was released by Trimark. It stars Jennifer Aniston as Tory Redding, a young woman who moves to a North Dakota farmhouse with her father, and she and three handymen who are fixing up the place. The house used to belong to a man named Dan O'Grady, who 10 years earlier had went to Ireland to bury his mother and wound up catching a leprechaun, stealing his gold and bringing it back to North Dakota, where the leprechaun tracked him there and tried to kill him, and he ended up having a stroke. But not before he managed to trap the leprechaun in an old crate. Now, 10 years later, Tori and these three handymen and her father are being terrorized by this leprechaun who busts out of the crate after 10 years and believes that they have stolen his gold, and he will go to murderous lengths to get it back. This is one of those cheesy B movies, that definitely, I mean, it was panned by critics, it received negative reviews, but it's a lot of fun. It's entertaining, and I really enjoy it. But let's just break down the good things and the bad things. So, starting off with the positives here, the biggest plus this movie has going for it is, of course, Warwick Davis. He is absolutely terrific in this movie. He gives it his all. He puts his own little twist and a spin on the leprechaun, being a leprechaun. And even though the movie is actually played off more for comedy than horror, and it's not really all that scary, he does a really good job at it. It's very entertaining, and he's the reason to watch this movie and also the sequels, as bad as they are. Jennifer Aniston, I think she's fine. I think she does a good job here. She has regretted starring in the movie, but a fun fact actually is that at the time she actually enjoyed doing it. Her and Warwick Davis actually got along on and off set. She was actually going to return for the sequel instead of Siobhan Durkin, but her commitment to Friends didn't allow it. So yeah, I thought Jennifer Aniston was really good in it. The supporting cast is actually really solid. Ken Olant, who I know from Summer School, he's actually pretty good. Mark Holton, who is known as the douche in Pee-wee's Big Adventure, and Francis, that's his name. And he also portrayed John Wayne Gacy back in the early 2000s. I thought he was pretty good as Ozzy. He was kind of the simpleton, one of the handymen that was helping out, trying to restore the house. And Robert Gorman, I thought he was really good. He was in like three other movies that I know him best in: Mr. Nanny, Rookie of the Year, and Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. I thought he was really good. But yeah, you have a pretty good, solid supporting cast there. Also, the sole setting of the farmhouse where pretty much the whole movie takes place, I think it's pretty beneficial to the film. I think it's really good. But yeah, so moving on to the negatives. I will say that the acting, aside from the main cast, is actually pretty bad. You have some of these side characters like a cop and a shop owner. Basically when it comes to their deaths, which I'm gonna spoil it for you guys. They that's another thing I'll get back into. But one of the negatives too is that the kills in this movie are very minimal. There's not very many kills in it because the movie kind of allows our main cast to survive, and then you have basically Dan O'Grady's wife, a cop, a shopkeeper, and eventually Dan O'Grady himself toward the end of end of the film. Um, at least we believe so, because he dies before he could tell. He dies before or dies after he's able to tell Tory how to kill the leprechaun. But yeah, the kill count, I mean, is pretty minimal for a horror film. You know, I think the body count does grow as the sequels go. Yeah, and also there's stupid decisions that characters make. You know, like the one that really kind of stands out for me is when the cop gets attacked by the leprechaun. You know, when the leprechaun grabs his face. He, instead of getting in his car and driving away, he just runs into the woods. I'm like, why you had your car right there? Why didn't you just get in the car and drive away? You might have survived, but no, you run in the woods where the leprechaun is pretty much fair game and gets you. And that for me, I think it's probably one of the best kills, even though it is pretty simple, because you know he comes out of nowhere, he drops on his shoulders and then breaks his neck. So I thought that was kind of cool. But yeah, I mean, aside from those negatives, I mean, Leprechaun it's a cheesy B movie. It definitely falls into so bad it's good territory. It's one that I always rewatch during on St. Patrick's Day and during the Halloween season. Like I said, Warwick Davis, he makes them worth watching. He gives a great performance in just about in all the sequels, and also Leprechaun Returns, which is a direct sequel, which does the Halloween 2018 thing, where it is a direct sequel to the original. It's the first one that's has to do with that franchise. That does not feature Warwick Davis, but I think the replacement, he does a solid enough job. But I love the connection that it has with the original. It makes it kind of entertaining. But yeah, Leprechaun is definitely a fun movie to watch. If you haven't seen it yet, I highly recommend checking it out if you're into those kind of those so bad it's good movies. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Leprechaun. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Happy St. Patrick's Day. I'm thinking about doing a Leprechaun Returns review and then doing a Leprechaun ranking as well. I should have that ready for you guys this weekend. I love you guys. You guys are the greatest, and I will see you in the next one.